summery. Have you been
Oh,
enjoying?
I'm in the sunroom. I'm baking away in the front of my house.
Oh,
So
no.
yeah, no, I wasn't. I was out in the gardens all over the weekend, so covered in paint still. So
Well,
very grounding.
so what are you doing? Preparing it for the summer?
Yeah, I
Yes.
was power hosing. Power hosing is a very grounding thing to do, I discovered. And
Yeah.
digging and everything. So yeah, no, it's great. I love it. I love getting outside.
Feels great when you've got
Mm.
that. It's like having a room available to you that you haven't had for so long, isn't it?
Oh God, it's brilliant.
I love this time of year, and for anyone who's sleepless, and you know what, some of us do get to be that way. It's certain we go through cycles of that. I think I certainly do. The dawn coming earlier, and the sound of the bird song, and the light is just beautiful. It's so nice. It's so much nicer than being sleepless and awake in the middle of the winter, in the middle of the night. Listen, everybody, you're so welcome. We're going to go. I think you're muted. If you're not muted, you'll be muted. Sorry, but do please put anything you've got into the chat box or raise your hand, and if I see that, we'll go to you afterwards, if that's okay. So I'm looking forward to hearing any questions you've got. Please come back and ask Debbie anything that you want to, and you're all extremely welcome. Debbie, thank you for coming back to us this evening.
Thanks for having me. I don't know why I'm nervous to be here tonight, but I'm just excited. I'm
I
really
am.
excited as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
I really
and
am.
you're a busy, busy lady. You
Yeah, I
really
am.
are, because I know that you're always, you have services, you have
Mm.
courses that you're running, you have healing practices that you do, you have your meditation that you lead.
Yeah.
These are all, just gorgeous things for people to do. Are you literally hitting the ground running in the morning?
Well, I always make sure to do a meditation first thing in the morning. So I'll always, that's my priority. Before breakfast, before I get out of bed, I'll sit there and I'll do my meditation. But then, yeah, I do build in my own time very much so, because as you said, I could be as busy as I need to be. And I love work. I love this, what I do. So it's just not work. It's just, I love it. I am mindfully aware that I need to be, and my own self-care will be primary to what I do. I wouldn't be able to do it otherwise.
Give us a flavor of what you do, because that's really interesting you say that. And there's some of us we can have what we feel is a good idea for ourselves, a good self-care routine for the morning. Listen, we're all very human. After a while that slips, and the next thing you know, you've got to do a grocery run, or you've got to get opening emails, or whatever else you're going to do, and the thing that goes is the self-care routine. But you're saying that this is really important to you.
Oh, yeah.
So can you give us a flavor of what's non-negotiable for you? What must you maintain?
Well, basically is my meditation, and I do it for a few reasons. Pre my meditation practice, which would have been in the early 2000s, I would have had quite a challenging, difficult life. I would have suffered with my mental health, as in depression. Life wasn't very easy for me. I was overly sensitive to the world. I know now I was a healer. I didn't know that at the time. So when I was introduced to my life, for me, it made such an impact that I just could never let it go. And it basically is when you do your meditation and when you give yourself that time. And it's so, some people, it can be, like doing homework. Sometimes you might think, I need to do it. I will do it, but I'll clean the room first, or whatever. But if you put it in a position where it really is something that you won't be without, you will notice it so much in your life, in every way in your life, within your own mental health, in your own immune system, and how you manage to sleep at nighttime, how you are able for people, situations and scenarios. It really is something that is a choice though. And it's an important choice to make, because if you let it, like I do know, as you mentioned, so you might let it the first thing to go. I can't afford to let it go. So I don't, because I know within a few days I'll unravel. And I haven't actually not missed a day meditating since 2008, would you believe?
Wow.
Yeah, but I know myself, like I kind of made a promise to myself that there was part of it, little self-care, self-love, that I'd never ever miss a day again. Because I was choosing to walk a step back from other patterns in my life. I was very fond of alcohol and different bits and pieces. So this was part of me reclaiming myself. And it does, And I know when people are going through a difficult period, oftentimes they'll turn to things such as meditation or yoga or mindfulness. And then oftentimes when things pick up again, we let the patterns go. And
Yeah.
that's very understandable, because we go back into feeling good again, and, you know, we feel that we don't need it. And what I would suggest is, if you could have it within your awareness that when it's difficult and you're going through a period of allowing yourself to receive whatever support it is that's coming in for you, if you can try and build that in, that no matter what you're going to do, you're going to have that in your, because not everyone, not meditation, you might choose something else. And for me, like, I wouldn't understand why you would do that, but then I know that there's so many different systems out there that for everyone on the planet, there's a different way that's going to work for them. But if you have something that you do all the time, that is an opportunity every day for your body to say, well, I'm going to hold this now, be it a conversation, be it a sense of something building inside you. Maybe we're overly picking things up around us, or we're finding it very difficult to process something. If your body knows every day you're going to give it time to process, to connect, to try and disentangle itself from whatever's going on, then your body starts to trust you a little bit more. That might sound strange, that I separate the body from the ego or from the consciousness, but it is completely, there's like two systems working together. So it really is very, very powerful to try and
That is fascinating. And can I just get back to something you mentioned there, because
yeah.
all over the place at the moment, and certainly over the past year, I have found particularly young people have found themselves struggling, and it's not a surprise really when you think about it. But this is, and they're looking, as you quite rightly said, for things such as, you know, meditation or walking in nature or taking up more outdoor pursuits. I mean, look at the whole craze of the cold water swimming, the sea swimming
Yeah.
that's going on, and that kind of thing. But I wanted to ask you something that you mentioned. You are a healer, but you also found yourself overwhelmed at, you know, and you said your mental health was affected. And can I ask you, do you feel that people who are, you know, what would we say, highly sensitive
Sensitive.
to energy, and that are likely to be at some point affected, um, you know, with their mental health as a result of the influences coming in, or the sort of bombardment of what they're picking up?
Well, I think everyone potentially has to mind their mental health, you know, all the time. Like, it always was something, but we weren't consciously aware. Do you know, it's like suddenly humanity has woken up and gone, oh, mental health. Oh, yes. But I do understand about the young people. And I do believe there's many factors in relation to that. I mean, mobile phones, I could write a book, social media, there's such pressure on them. There really is, more than we ever had, not in my day and age. I mean, I didn't see a mobile phone until I was in my 20s. So, well, maybe 18 or 19. But so that there's so much more pressure on them. But certainly if you are sensitive, by that I mean somebody who's very aware of energy, who's very aware, an empath. When you walk into an environment or a room, you're aware of what's happening, or you're picking up, you meet a friend and you know instantly just by looking at them that there's something going on for them. Or you have, some people will physically pick it up in their body, they'll feel it, like a headache coming, you know, that somebody else's, particularly healers, or those that are very sensitive to energy. Because of that, because we are overly, and the chaoticness of our society and everything bombarded continuously with the broadcasting, news and everything else.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. We would be very susceptible to energy, to heavier energy, to be maybe laden down by it a little bit. So certainly if you're sensitive at all, you will benefit from working with energy work, or whatever you want to call it yourself, would be very, very powerful. I work with the angels, only for them. But I mean, everyone has a different way, you know, but it definitely massively will make a difference.
Well, I know you mentioned before, and I mean, who could ever tire of the beautiful story of how you actually came awake to your angels, that they, through the kind of commitment or dedication to your meditation practice, that was how they sort of made themselves known to you, in a sense. Is that,
Yeah,
am I
the
right?
hand, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was absolutely, I was very closed. And I know some of you probably heard this story. I'm sorry if I repeat myself.
Oh, no,
I was I was very, very closed initially. Like, I didn't have any belief in anything. I just was so lost in myself. And so I started meditation, breathing exercises. I didn't know they were meditation. I probably wouldn't have done them. I was very, but breathing exercise for stress, because I was rearing a baby by myself and trying to manage a mortgage and everything else, and having all the other stuff going on in my life. And after a few weeks, I had this awareness of angels, like from inside. You know, it was so magical, but it grew over time, and it was the most magical period of my life. I have to, looking back now, it was just like, I can't even begin to describe it. It was just the most amazing time of my life. And it was 2008. It was the 3rd of September 2008. And I was reading Lorna Byrne's book, Angels in My Hair.
Yeah.
And I had been aware of my connection with the angels growing, and seeing colors and having unusual experiences when I'd be doing my meditation. Like my hair clip kept coming out by itself, and all the windows and doors would be closed in the room, and I'd have it's like a blowing of a breeze on my face. It wasn't scary.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't at all scary. It was very affirming. It was like, oh my God, you're real. Oh my, wow. And I had this sense that I really wanted to follow my path here. I really wanted to develop and connect. And I had amazing experiences with, I used to keep little birds, and I remember being aware of the healing energy coming through one day when one of them got sick, and I didn't know how, even where to begin to explore how to develop this. But I remember thinking to myself that I really needed proof in a very tangible way that the angels were real, or there was no way I was going to walk away from a pensionable job, state job, with a baby and a mortgage on my own, and having the experience on the 3rd of September, where it was still bright, and I was sitting on my bed doing my meditation, and I had this bubbling anticipation, like I knew something was going to happen. I could feel it building. So it was no surprise, and yet it was such a surprise when I opened my eyes and there was this hand of light just in front of me. And I remember thinking, wow. But thinking of all the things you could show me, a hand of light. But it was so significant, really, because it was, now I look back and I recognize that, you know, that really that divine intelligence that's working with us, it's trying to tell you that it's inside us, that we don't need anyone to lead us, or shine light certainly helps if someone can mentor and guide us, but the power and the light and the source is inside us. Because when I studied that hand, it was my own. You know, like it was like this, it was actually my own hand of light. So obviously my hands were here, but there was a hologram of energy just in front of me, and that was the beginning of a number of signs over that coming few weeks and months, that confirmed over and over again that there was a divine intelligence working very much, and that I was on the right path. And even with the angel cards, continuously getting the same card over and over again, like a trick. You know, it was like I had a friend at the time who was just so gobsmacked, could not understand how I could work the cards. And I was like, I'm not doing anything. But every time I looked at the card, I was getting you found your life's path, you know. So yeah, it was so magical. Oh my God, it was so magical. Yeah, so there you go.
Listen, I can tell you, it's so anybody here who has let it lapse their meditation practice, listening to you now, Debbie, there'll be stone silence tomorrow morning as everyone goes up.
Well, in saying that, Trina, the thing is, I suppose, not to be worried. Sometimes people are thinking, oh my God, I don't want those experiences. And initially, after the first experience of the hand of light, initially I was like, okay, thank you. Thank you so much. I see that sign. I'm taking it on board. Don't show me anything again. Because afterwards, ego got in the way. And ego's like, what happened there? But at the very moment it was happening, I was so at peace. I was so open-hearted. I knew, beyond a shadow of doubt, but it was afterwards when I started thinking about it. The thing about it, when you meditate, for me, I've always been a clairvoyant. Since I was a little girl, I've had experiences. And the first time I ever knew great loss was when I had to let them go as a little tiny little person, being told, you know, you have to step back now. It's not really, nobody else is having those experiences, Debbie, or Deborah, as I was called, and being so devastated that I wasn't able to communicate in that way anymore. I'll never forget that. But when you start to meditate, what you can expect when you give yourself time to surrender into it. And when I say surrender, often people have this expectation that they're just going to sit like a statue and breathe slowly and deeply and go straight in. And I wish that was that easy. And even for me, it's not always that easy. It's not easy at all. Sometimes it can be quite challenging, just quieten that monkey mind The body will want to fidget. You'll think of every reason in the world. You should be doing the dishes, or you should be writing the essay, or you should be walking the dog, or whatever it would be. So it will be a challenge. It won't happen instantly. But what's so important and what really will stand to you is, as I mentioned earlier, your body will start to recognize that you are giving time, that it can be guaranteed, that there is a period of time coming. And if it's a thing, when you sit down and close your eyes, that you go asleep, absolutely fine. Go with that. That's grand. And you might question, no, that's not meditation. What's important is you've allocated a period of time for you that is for whatever the body needs. And if the body is exhausted, then it will sleep. And that's all. And after a period, after a few days or weeks, it will naturally merge into something else. It will naturally, you'll find that you'll be, and for me initially, I did struggle. Oh my God, I had one of those big brick mobile phones. This is way before the Hand of Light situation, when I was starting to meditate for stress. And I know within about 2 weeks, it was 2 weeks in that I had that experience. But even after that experience, I didn't sit quietly. My mind still wandered. I still had great challenges within. But what I found was that I might get a split second of peace, just a split second. And that was enough to sustain me for a number of hours or even a day until the next meditation. And when I committed and did it continuously every day without fail, and I only started 5 minutes, and then I made my way up to 20 because I had this gorgeous mentor at the time who was a counselor. And he was like, you know what, I'm not good. He had this, he treated post-traumatic stress, and I had a little bit of that from the old job I was in. And he was working with fire people and guards and nurses and everything else. And his way of being was, I'll see you if you'll do your breathing exercises. So I was like, there's no way. There's no way. He's helping me so much. I think he's probably a healer. His name is Dr. Chada. He's very, very good. But anyway, so I did these breathing. I'm gone off my train of thought now. Oh yeah. So I've lost. Where was I, Trina?
We're talking about the breathing. So literally the process of how you moved from,
Yeah.
breathing into the split second of peace into
Yeah.
what became a more longer.
Exactly. And it wasn't, some days I wouldn't have it, but
Yeah.
some days I would. And I remember a practice I used to do would be, imagine that there was a doorway above me of light or whatever color or whatever it would be. This is what I did at the very beginning before I knew anything. And I would try within my breathing to breathe myself up to the door. And if I was really challenged and my mind was, I could never get to the door. But once I just relaxed, and when I got to the door in my mind, the peace would come when I opened the door. That was a very simple exercise that I kind of created or was supported creating at the very beginning. And then the other one that I found really good was a color going through in my mind when I'd sit down, all the colors of the rainbow, and sitting with them. And then when I got to a color that I thought, oh God, I need that green, or I need that blue, or whatever it would be, I would imagine myself breathing that color into the part of me that really felt resistant or was really painful or really sad, until it actually lifted the energies inside. And there were two very simple exercises I did before I knew anything about angels that I found very effective at the very beginning of my practice.
Was that an intuitive
Yeah,
discovery? Yeah.
completely intuitive, because I was somebody that I suspect some people here are as well, that thought about everything, overanalyzed everything, overthought everything. I had so many intrusive thoughts that, this is going way, way back, being so sensitive to things. It was so hard to be in my head. So when I was sitting down, I had to have a little structure that just so I could organize. My head was kind of happy that what we were doing, it knew what it was at. So it would focus on so that was just at the very beginning. And then when I found the angels, oh my God, everything changed after that. But at the very beginning, when I was in that position whereby it was all brand new and it was very challenging, and I knew that I had to do it because I didn't have a choice. I knew myself instinctively. I don't know, obviously it was on my own inner guidance that I didn't want to now, and there's nothing wrong with medication, and certainly it works, but I knew myself, if I went down that path, that there was an inner drive inside me that said, no, there's something else. You've got to find something. So that's where the meditation came in, for me anyway.
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot of talking, Trina.
No, I love it because it's fascinating. These are you're answering the questions most of us have in our head. We know it's a good idea. We know that it's something
Yeah.
that will benefit us in some way, but there's always those little questions. And I see already there are some questions which I think you have a meditation you're going to lead us in.
Oh,
So,
I am.
and
I
I'm
am. Do you want me to answer some of the questions, or do you want me to do the meditation?
do you want to do that? I'm happy to. We might as well. So Trina Hannon is saying, Debbie, is there something in the air making us more tired?
More tired. Interesting. Well, I know lots of people are processing a lot. I know there's a wide range of audience here. So some people are very aware of the energy, and some people are like, what? But I know at the moment, like we had last weekend, we had the full moon, we had the lunar eclipse, and we had Bealtaine all falling on the 5th of May, which is very significant. It doesn't happen all the time. And I did a class this morning online. I was telling them about this. The effect of that will carry on probably till the summer solstice, till Lunasa. So by that, I mean, this particular time, energy-wise, there's great potential for evolution, for inner growth, for expansion, for deep healing, for releasing yourself from karmic cycles and inherited traits. And there's also potential for expansion at this time as well. So there's a wide array of available energy. You could say it like that.
That is a lot going on. No wonder people
there's a lot. There is a lot going on. Yeah.
Absolutely. Is TM meditation recommended? Trina's asking.
TM, is that
Transcendental meditation? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm right. When it comes to meditation, I know my own. I know what I do. I do know that I have heard great things about that. And I do think that Martin Duffy in Dundee trains that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would say about meditation is there is so many different types, really and truly. There's every type of meditation you can imagine. What's important is what fits you. So I would say try a few different types and see what one really calls you. And that's the one to go with. And for a period of time, that might be right for you. You might move on, or like me, you might just become like this is what I do now. I'm like, I'll never let that go. But everyone has their own way. So it's whatever fits.
Can I be so just to be clear, in your case, you started out with the breathing exercises.
Yes.
Led
Yes.
you to visualizing the door and you breathing yourself into the door. You also used some exercises where you visualize. There's a lot of visualizing for you. Color, chakra colors, color, and allowing yourself breathe in those colors to heal whatever part of you needed it. And now you've come to the point where you lead meditations.
That came about actually through my clients, would you believe? So, and because I knew how beneficial the visualizations were for me, I had a few clients that were just such trauma going on in their lives at that time that they just could not lie still. And they were just being hounded by what was happening, a replay of what was happening in their lives. And God loved them. They struggled so much. And so I started talking them through a meditation to try and soothe them. And because it quietened the mind then had something to do, the monkey mind. And so it was focusing on working with me. And so the rest of the body was able to receive whatever was coming through. And then I introduced it into groups, and it had a profound effect. That's what I found anyway.
It absolutely did. And more than that, those who you've led in meditation will say you very often are channeling.
I am. Yeah. Yes. I don't own it. This is the thing. I'm very fortunate to have an interpreter's job. Some people interpret in different languages. I'll interpret energy. And so I don't own whatever comes through. It comes through for the individual. It's their team. It's their higher self. It's their spirit that is working with them. I just hold space for that to happen. That's where it's not me. I'm just fortunate to be able to do it the way I do it.
Oh, it's profoundly healing. I must admit, I've done one of Debbie's courses, and it's really is something that's it's felt very deeply and lasts with you afterwards for quite some time as well. I just went on, excuse me one sec. Eileen says, how much time do you give to the meditation in the morning? You give a great explanation of the benefit of the daily commitment.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Eileen. Thank you. So how much time, this is a good one. If you're starting off, I won't tell you how much time I do, okay? I don't want to frighten you. But when you're starting off, like I would do a lot because I do a lot and I work with energy. But certainly what I would introduce for anyone starting off, and what I started off on, was I started with 5 minutes, and then I would move it up every 2 or 3 days by a minute. And if you could get to 20 minutes, between 20 and 30, if you can do every day between 20 and I'm going to, from where I sit at the very beginning, when someone said to me, we'll get you up to 20 or 30 minutes, I said, are you mad? Do you know how busy my life is? I have a child. I will never, there was no reason in the world until I did it. And then I remembered I could have done 3 or 4 hours a day. But that was when I was really in the height of my development. I would suggest 20 to 30 minutes. Now that doesn't have to be in one go. You could do 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the evening, or 20, 25, 30 minutes in the morning. And, you know, it can just be one, or some people like to do a few minutes before bed at night time, just to call in their angels, to breathe in whatever it is that they want to, Archangel Michael or whatever color, so that they're going to sleep. So with a clear head as much as you can, you know. And those that are aware of energy will know that oftentimes we do a lot of growing and expanding and evolving in our sleep, and we process things that we don't have to manifest them into our daily lives. We'll have to try and work our way through things at nighttime. So when you invite in that loving light to stay with you, it stays with you through your sleep time, through your dream time, to support you. When often we can meander into things that would be fearful, or, you know, trying to work our way through our fears, we may bring them into our dreams. So I would suggest, if you could do 5 minutes before bed, bringing Archangel Michael in. I have a lovely meditation for the Shield of Michael on the YouTube website. And in the morning time, it's to begin the day. And what I love about beginning the day with the angels is, when you sit there, I would always suggest even before you get out of bed, because some people have a very special part of the house and a special chair. Fabulous. If that works for you, I know my special place is my bed, because I love it. And it's warm and it's cozy, and I have my pillows on either side and my duvet up, and so I'm warm. And I know I'm definitely going to be there because I stay there all night long. And so I'll invite the angels in to begin, and I'll ask them to come in. I'll call in whoever I want to feel it. If you are stuck, call in your guardian angel, or simply a color that you feel was really represents love or peace for you. And imagine, sense, or feel that energy moving right through you, and have the intention. It's a really good idea to have the intention that, bearing in mind this divine intelligence, these loving beings know exactly the type of day you're going to have, the exact type of people that will cross your path, the type of challenges you'll face. Even if you have the best laid plans, things may still come in. So just inviting them in, or whoever you call in or align with or pray to, and to go ahead in your day and to shine a light into the path that will be best for you. That's even bringing your consciousness to that is a lovely thing to do, because you're starting the day the best way you can. You're giving, even if everything around you is falling apart, if you're being challenged right, left, and center, if things are not playing out the way you'd like to, you're doing something that can really help you consciously, unconsciously, and subconsciously, to come back into alignment to the best outcome in that day.
Wonderful. That is something. This is something we needed to hear. So I'm really grateful that you're doing that. Another couple of questions, and then we go to your lovely meditation.
Yeah.
I was saying, the other day I was walking through Glenstall Abbey, that's in near Limerick, and I noticed a big green light, almost in the form of a person, hovering beside me. Do you think that was an angel? Maybe Raphael?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I would see archangels coming in as colored balls or spheres, or, you know, sometimes often the side of your eye, you'll think, God, I thought I saw a purple or green or whatever color it would be. That would often be an archangel coming in. The angel of nature coming in there as well, Ariel. Ariel's often can be seen as green or purple green. Yeah, Raphael certainly. Oh, Raphael loves making an introduction like that. So absolutely. The white pinpricks of light that some people will describe seeing, or the diamond light that shines up, but I often see them over people's heads when I'm talking to people, or when the angels are saying, just so you know, we're here, you know, just to reassure the person we're actually here. Loved ones can also come in through from heaven or from spirit with your guardian or with the archangels, and they'll come in as white. It actually depends on the person how you'll pick them up, but white lights off from your guardian angels as well.
Oh, that's just beautiful. And what a lovely experience for Katie as well. That's absolutely lovely. Thank you, Debbie. Lorraine, please keep talking, Debbie. As Trina says, you're giving wonderful advice for surrendering to
Oh.
the universe. Lorraine, thank you. That is a beautiful comment to make. Thank you so much. Sarah, hi, Debbie. Do different colors mean something different, significant?
Yeah, they can. Well, by that I mean different archangels will radiate different at different frequencies.
Mhm.
And we will often see if you're clairvoyant, and by clairvoyant, I mean when you're going to sleep at nighttime, or when you're doing your meditation, or when you close your eyes sometimes and you see a vibrant color behind your eyes. That would you may not realize this, but that's the beginning of being clairvoyant. That's, you could call yourself a little clairvoyant. But different archangels will shine their energy or their vibration in different ways. So sometimes we will have an experience of seeing, say, as someone said, green for Raphael, blue for Archangel Michael. Now, it doesn't always follow to form, in that I know people who call Michael in and they see a beautiful red light.
Mm.
And that's their experience of Archangel Michael. But more often than not, certain colors for me would signify certain archangels or certain healing frequencies, which the archangel oversees, the rays of light or the energy.
And I think as angels will appear to you or communicate with you in a way that you understand.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. That's why different people from different cultures will
Yes.
have different experiences of different beings. Like in Ireland, we'd often have an experience of, not say the Catholic Ireland, they might see Jesus or Mother Mary, or coming in with Archangel Michael. And then in different religions or different areas, you might have a different deity coming in, the same type of energy coming through, but that person will have that understanding that this means that there's a loving divine intelligence that's here to support me. And so the one thing they'll never ever do is try to frighten you.
Yeah.
They do not want to scare you. So if it would be that they would, so some people will question, well, why can't I see an archangel? Why can't I see, and such can see? And what my answer would be in relation to that would be, the angels want to inspire, to support, to uplift. They do not want you to be scared of them, or and of your connection with your own divine connection, your own higher self. So they'll come in a very way. Often, if you're looking for a sign, you might be sitting there, eyes closed, focusing, like really focusing, and you may not have received anything because you're overly focusing, hyper vigilant, going, where are you? But when you relax and you're going about your daily business, whatever you're doing, suddenly an inspiration will come to mind. Or just before you pop off to sleep, you might get that lovely image in your mind, or a lovely smell. I love the smell.
Mm-hmm.
They communicate sometimes through beautiful smells. That's another way, and a lovely way of knowing that the angels are coming in. Tingling in the air. My favorite, a sense of relief, peace, compassion, love that comes across your heart, that you just can't begin even to describe. That's an angel coming in to give you a hug, or to say, we're here, we love you, we see you, we're here.
I must admit, it's always reassuring. I find that too. And for anyone who thinks it's scary, you will never feel
No. Oh,
fear.
it's love. It's
It
absolute love.
only
It's
brings
beyond, yeah, it's beyond description. You know, it's beyond, like, I've had experiences where I've said afterwards, thank you for those experiences. I don't want to ever experience it again, because I really wanted to go home. Do you know, there
I
was
know
a
what
sense of love. It was beyond any description of love. I mean, the word love, I'm trying to describe it, does not describe this connection.
you
It's like nothing you've ever experienced before. And that's why when my time comes, I'd like to think I'll be skipping off into the sunset, because it was such a wonderful experience, that sense of that connection. So never fear them. I mean, they're just amazing. But they bend over backwards. Sorry, Trina,
no, no,
I've cut
no, not
across it.
at all. God Almighty, I'm thrilled you're talking. I was going to say, if we can experience that even once, we'll know how how we need
Mm,
never worry, how we need never worry about ourselves, or
mm,
our self-worth or anything. It's such a very beautiful, loving experience.
yeah.
Elizabeth, how are you doing? Elizabeth says, I often experience a sparkling light to the
Mm.
side of my eyes, but when I turn around, I don't see anything.
That's typical angelic. Typical angelic. They're coming in, and it's often through the corners of your eyes, the sides of your eyes, that they'll connect in, and you'll see that, as Elizabeth said, that lovely sparkling radiance. That's them coming in there as well. Really gently. That's how they coming in. They'll come in a way that, and like at the beginning for me, I will, my first experiences of seeing angels when I was pregnant. And I remember not understanding, like I wasn't doing my meditation at that point, but I was a certain place in the building. I was in the 5th floor. I get out of the lift and there was this, I used to think, what is that? It was like a ball of sparkles. And in the same, in my hall, it would be there. And I remember thinking my blood pressure must be up. No, and then after, it was years afterwards, I recognized it. Like, and they're actually portals. But that's what I recognize. So I'm wondering, haven't I? But Elizabeth, yeah, that would be a typical angelic. Often it would often be your guardian, or if there's colors in it, it could be an archangel. And one other thing about the archangels, we often think that they're separate and they're, that they're this grand being that we're lucky to experience, and we absolutely are, absolutely. But the one thing they really want to convey is that most of us, I haven't met anyone really that doesn't have an archangel that's working with you through your life's path, that is assigned specifically to you and your life, that will be working with you on a daily basis, that wants to be present with you. And at certain times in our lives when we're going through different initiations, marriage, death, birth, giving birth, moving house, moving job, challenges in a relationship, breaking up with somebody, a certain archangels will stand in, and you'll have more support around you when you're really needing it. And often we're so full of our own grief, worry, fear, nervousness, that our vibrations are tilting a little bit, so we can't feel them. But they do carry us through those times, most definitely.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you for that. Laura, Trina, a tiny white feather floated into my first vegetable patch. Beautiful.
Lovely. And that's a sign actually of there's so many different signs that they're there, but a white feather very much is renowned. But the angels are blessing your vegetable patch. They're coming in, and they'll often do that as well. Yeah. And it can often be a thing as well that often the angels will guide down certain loved ones that you could do getting a hug from, or having a little bit of a reassuring a reminder that they haven't forgotten, that they're still there in spirit. And it can often be that sometimes a white feather can signify that too.
Yeah. Lovely to know. And you do know that, don't you, when you see your robin or you see your feather. Laura, thank you, Laura. You said beautifully said. There's a lot of beautifully said things here today. Carmel, how can you develop your clairvoyance abilities other than meditation? Thank you.
Carmel, that's news, I'm afraid. I would, if I would say, I don't know any other way. You could do energy techniques, but they're also a form of meditation. And the reason being is, the one thing the angels don't want to do is frighten you. And the one thing that we often get is frightened when our third eye starts to open, because the society we live in does not promote our connection with when the third eye is open, and you're often it's through meditation practice, when the third eye is open, our awareness of the truth, of being aware of what's real in our lives, what's right in our lives, what we're drawn to, what's right for us, becomes quite heightened. So often people would say that, that the one thing that they want is develop their spiritual gifts, but meditation will bring you into alignment with being authentically true to yourself. So when you're meditating with the intention of clearing, cleansing, and opening your third eye, you're doing a lot more than that. You're releasing the layers around you of conditioning and fear that may have formed from an earlier experience, where maybe you got frightened of something that you saw at nighttime or in your dreams, or if you're a clairvoyant or a psychic. Sometimes, I know it took me a long time to work through my fears about being clairvoyant. It was about 4 years of work. That's not for everyone, but I had a lot of fear initially. So there are techniques you can do, Carmel, energy techniques, but they would involve a certain amount of meditation. So by that, I would suggest calling in an Archangel Zadkiel, Archangel Haniel, Archangel Ariel, Michael. They would be ones I would, Raziel, work with very much for developing the intuition. But all archangels will do that. I call them 3 times. Always give them 10 to 15 seconds to come in, because they come in instantaneously, but it gives us a chance to feel them, there. And close your eyes, breathe in their light, their love, their support, and their connection, and have the intention So you could say Archangel Raphael or Raziel or Zadkiel. Now, Zadkiel is one I'd recommend. He's the channel of the ultraviolet flame, and he or she, I say he, but they're androgynous, they're both, is tremendous for anyone that is carrying fear-based energies in relation to how they have their intuition or anything that's fear-based. Not only just your intuition. Zadkiel is known as the angel of freedom. So for anyone suffering from addictions, coercive control, anything that's really heavy or fear-based in your life, I would recommend Zadkiel as well as Michael. But working with Zadkiel, and maybe your intention being a call in Archangel Zadkiel, please align with me and please channel your energy to release anything around my third eye that's preventing me from seeing the truth, and what it is for me that's for my best and highest interest. And then sit with that energy for 10 to 15 minutes. And that's a form of meditation. But that will help you, because the angels will never, and the one thing I always suggest is, for me, I'd never ever do any kind of psychic work, mediumship, healing work without working with them, because they will protect you often from yourself, and I know this, from your own fears. And we have often where we self-sabotage or we resist or whatever happens, and they're going to bring in whatever is needed to help. So sometimes to release something around the third eye, you might actually have to work on your solar plexus. That they come up really well together all the time with clients. So if there's an issue with your power being empowered, you're often going to see things that are disempowered around you. So you have to clear the two of those. So that's a very long-winded answer.
It's great. It's a super answer. And in fact, one of the questions was, how do you spell the name of the Angel of Freedom? And they've put in Zadkiel.
Zadkiel, yeah, that's it. Zadkiel, fabulous.
Zadkiel. Is that what
yes. Yeah.
Zadkiel, and you've got it there, Tori. Thank you very much as well.
Thanks, Tori.
Deborah, or Debbie, this is, would you like to move on to doing your...
Yeah, I could do a meditation. I can answer a few questions afterwards if you want. Yeah, I can do a meditation.
More will come up, and this is, you've got people now interested in the experience. So for those of you who haven't done this before, and actually I just want to briefly say before, because I don't want it to leave my mind, if you do have difficulty meditation and you would like to explore it, Debbie, you have a particular kind of, what would we say, monthly program that people can join up with you, and you will lead them through meditations.
Yeah. So I do Tuesday nights. Yeah, Tuesday morning. It was this morning, and every alternating Tuesday night and Tuesday morning. And I do a class, angelic meditation class. And it's about an hour and 45 minutes, an hour and a half, but you don't have to sit with it. It's recorded. So afterwards, over the period of the week, you can dip in and out to the meditations. And the meditations are about 20, 25 minutes long each. And they're to support you in letting go of any tension, stress, anxiety, or fear. Whatever's happening in your life, they're channeled. So basically, I'll record the class today for the next 7 days. And the intention is whatever is happening in your life, that you may need more support, that maybe things are challenging you, where you're being, sideswiped in a way that you don't see it coming, or whatever's happening, that the angels are going to build the light around you to bring you into alignment with what you need to have the highest outcome in that. So the first meditation is always about letting go of whatever's really activated in the aura at that moment, a situation, a scenario, worry, or a fear. And then we do our intentions. So you get an opportunity to write out what it is you really want to let go of, you really want to align with, and where you're worried or fearful, or where you're in pain. And that's very powerful. It gives you a chance to formulate it and create it in a way that's really, really potent. And then we do a visualization. I lead you on a path whereby you can meet an archangel, whoever comes in for the night, and communicate directly with them through the meditation, what it is that you're holding or carrying. And it's very profound, the healing that can occur. And then we do a little bit of distant healing, which is also really potent, particularly if you are worrying about others in your life. Maybe things are going okay for you, but somebody's really struggling and you don't know how to help them. And it can be quite torturous watching someone you love really going under or being very much in pain and not knowing what to do. This is something you can do, and it's very, very powerful. And then I do a little reading, an angel card reading at the end. I pull 3 cards and I ask you to pick a number, whichever number you connect with. And that would be for the guidance for that week and the archangel for that week that will work with you. And that's basically it.
A wealth of angels Debbie.
There's a lot in it, all right. Yes, it
And
is.
it certainly, if you absolutely don't know what to do, or even if you do know what you do, but you need some guidance, because not
Mm.
everybody is gifted with their, their intuitive abilities or their ability to, sort of, see or visualize in any
Yeah.
way. So it's a lovely way to develop a practice. So thank you for that. And Lorraine, we go to your beautiful meditation now. Lorraine is saying, I missed Debbie's meditation at the Hill of Tara. You missed it. Incredible and
Yeah.
beautiful. Sorry, I missed it there. I'm beautiful. I'll do my best to go again. And thank you, Debbie. And I want to
Thank you, Lorraine.
as well. Laura is saying she can highly recommend Debbie's weekly meditations. She's been doing
Excellent.
it for years. Thank you, Laura. Thank you very much. Later, just before you go, I do want to ask you about the Hill of Tara, but I don't want to move off the theme at the moment. So thank you for
Yeah.
bringing it up, actually. So
Thank you. So I'm gonna. Will I be? Do you want me to begin?
Is that okay with you? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to mute myself.
And if I could ask everyone, they're all muted. Okay, that's good. So with this, I'm going to do a guided meditation. It could be about 20 minutes, which might seem like a lot, but when you get into the flow, it probably won't seem like a lot. Now I'm going to change my mic over, if that's okay, Trina. I won't be able to hear anybody that's speaking, but I'll see if the thing moves around. It just gives a better quality of sound. And the theme of this meditation is just bringing more support. And I always have, sometimes I try and consider what is going to come up, and it always is different. So it depends on what's happening in this group and those that will watch this afterwards, of what way the meditation will pan out. But the only thing I ask is that you uncross your legs and arms and just let yourself really relax. And I'm just going to change over my mic. So just give yourself permission to be here. And take slow, big, beautiful breaths. And don't worry if your mind initially is jumpy, if you're feeling a little bit resistant or uncertain. That's absolutely fine and very, very normal. I'm going to ask your healing teams to step in now. And whether you like it or are aware of it or not, each person has a beautiful team of angels that are there with you, consisting of your guardian angels, the archangels that work closest with you, your spirit guides, family and friends of light. And they all want to be present. In fact, they absolutely love being called in. They love supporting you, being acknowledged. You've no idea how much this really lifts them to be seen, to be connected with, to be called, because they really want to help you. So I'm going to ask on your behalf that this tremendous team of angels that are always with you step in and support you now. And keep breathing those gorgeous, slow, big, beautiful breaths. And for a moment, just allow your body to relax as much as you can. Observe anything that's coming up. And the body often, it's very, very beautiful, intelligent system that acknowledges where sometimes we're carrying things that we're not listening or hearing or feeling. And sometimes within the meditation, you may have a little bit of an awareness of something that is a bit twingy or achy. So just bringing your awareness to any aches or pains within your body. And as you do so, just knowing that the beings of light that are with you are coming in to support you. Michael, the Archangel, has stood right in, oh my goodness, so powerfully. And I would invite you, if you could, to call Archangel Michael in your mind or aloud, whichever you're most comfortable with, 3 times. You could say, Archangel Michael, Archangel Michael, Archangel Michael. And Archangel Michael is the archangel of protection and empowerment, sometimes seen as a beautiful blue, a purple or golden light. Michael loves to support and help, and particularly is stepping right in there with you. And if there's something inside you that is hurting you, or in your life at this time that is challenging or triggering you, I want you to ask Archangel Michael to help by simply bringing your awareness to it for a moment. And I'm going to ask on your behalf that Archangel Michael connect directly with each individual listening to this meditation, no matter when you're listening, and to bring tremendous, powerful, healing light into the source of anything that is hurting, challenging, tormenting, wounding, anywhere you're feeling caught or stuck, disempowered or afraid, panicked, nervous, anywhere that maybe you're feeling a little bit low, or you suffer sometimes a lot with struggling with your mental health. Just feel Archangel Michael step right in. I'm going to bring Archangel Zadkiel of the ultraviolet flame in there as well. And you might feel this as a tingling, a bright light in your mind, or a sense of peace, or you may have another experience. As I said earlier, if your body is reacting, take note. And as you breathe, hold the intention that you're breathing this very powerful, sacred healing light into the parts of you that are in pain, in turmoil, suffering, or struggling. And particularly if there are ongoing issues, situations, relationships within your body or within your life where you're not freely available or able to speak about it, if you feel that you're very closed in relation to it, or if there's a lot of fear, these 2 powerful archangels really want to support you. And believe me, they really can. And often when Zadkiel comes in, you may experience a gorgeous ultraviolet light, a violet or purple light. I'm aware of a very bright white light coming in there as well. Depending on what you need, many beings, archangels, are making themselves available, such as the angel of healing, Raphael, the angel of love, Shamuel, the angel of peace, Uriel, and many, many more. Coming right in, Gabriel, Joviel, Metatron. There are so many beings all stepping forward joyfully to support you. So I want you just to let yourself lean back in, or just give permission to be held and supported by these tremendous beings of light. No matter what it is you're carrying or holding, trying to work through, negotiate, or heal, sense their tremendous presence, stepping forward, channeling the divine energies that are needed for the best outcome for each of you now. And as you take those wonderful, slow, big, beautiful breaths, feel a tremendous glowing radiance move in and around you. An archangel's light coming right around you. Imagine a doorway leading into the center of your chest, into the heart center, opening or being opened now. And a tremendous wave of healing energy shining right into your beautiful heart center. Powerful, yet gentle. Give yourself permission for this powerful healing energy. It could be the light of Michael, the archangel, or Raphael, Shamuel, Gabriel, or Zadkiel. It could be a combined blend of all the angels and more. This energy bringing the most compatible healing codes and frequencies that you now need to bring peace, stability, and light into your beautiful heart centers and to your connections with those that you love dearly in your life. And as the light weaves and flows and moves through you, breathe it deeply, breathing in the help, the healing, the support, exhaling with your permission hurt, trauma, inflammation, infection, anger, rage, fear, grief, whatever is lowering your vibrations or causing you to be in pain. This tremendous light being administered to the exact point that is needed the most. And don't worry if your eyes leak or if there's a slight temperature change in your body, if you're feeling tingles, colors in your mind, or just a tremendous sense of peace. And the light, as you breathe it, feel it rising into the throat area. And don't worry, there's a little bit of heaviness releasing from around the head with this as well, particularly if you've been bombarded with intrusive thoughts or somebody else's intentions are too much for you at this time, somebody else's energy or influences. The angels are disentangling you now, and they're gently inviting you to breathe back their light and love and reclaim your own connection to peace. And particularly Archangel Michael, Archangel Zadkiel are creating within you and around you very significant boundaries. It's like a shield in the aura around you, specifically addressing any situations, ongoing issues or turmoil that you're holding or carrying, bringing the exact frequencies that will help you alleviate any pain or suffering, be that emotional, mental, spiritual, physical. And just keep breathing wonderful, slow, big, beautiful breaths. As the energy moves into your throat, give yourself permission to breathe the light in here and a heaviness lifting from the heart. Don't worry if your heart feels a little bit tingly or heavy, as old suffering and grief, sadness, betrayal, and trauma begin to dissolve and release. As the light moves into your throat, consciously give yourself permission to let go of any words, spoken or unspoken, written or unwritten, by you or to you, in anger, pain, hurt, or fear. And feel a tremendous glowing radiance, the exact angelic light you need, shining and rising into your beautiful throat area, lifting anybody else's anger, hurt, or suffering that you're carrying, and your own. Feel the light moving over your shoulders, the shoulder area gone beautiful gold. I'm going to ask the angels as well, just to create a lovely shield over the heart chakra. I'm just a little bit aware that there's one or two in the group that are really struggling a little bit at the moment. And maybe your beautiful hearts are being bombarded by something you're dealing with or something you're holding inside, something that is really painful. It could be there a long, long time. It could be there just recently. It could be something that you're observing in your life. But Michael is really showing me that there is a need for more help here. So I'm going to ask Michael, the Archangel, Zadkiel, and the beautiful white light feels like the Holy Spirit coming in there, just to connect individually with each person in the group to whatever level and degree is needed, and to create a very specific shield of light, bringing tremendous healing codes and frequencies into a concentrated area to significantly lift the heart energies And that I don't mean the physical heart, I mean the heart chakra area, although it will be very beneficial for anyone who's got stuff going on there as well. And we're just going to bring our awareness back to the shoulders and just give yourself permission for anything that has been weighing you down to be lifted, anything that's been overwhelming you, anything that you're carrying unknown to yourself that can be released. And tremendous light coming in, flowing over you, forming a beautiful bubble of gold over the shoulders. And once again, just reminding you, give yourself permission to lean back into the arms of the angels and inviting you also to breathe their loving support and surrender whatever it is that is hurting or that you're holding, that is heavy, particularly if you've no control over the situation, if you don't know how to help or heal yourself. If you're struggling, I want you just to sit back in the arms of the angels there. Feel the light weaving down your arms, inside and outside your body, down into your hands, doorways opening the hands, releasing stale, stuck and stagnant energy. And taking a big, beautiful breath, breathing that light up into your head. Oh, it's just beautiful. There's some beautiful pastel colors coming in there for some of you. And really gorgeous. Some of your healing team, your guardian angels, your loved ones just coming in to really, really reassure you that you're really supported. Imagining a doorway into the third eye opening or being opened now. I'm going to ask with your permission that you give the angels permission to gently and powerfully anesthetize you to whatever level or degree that you now need in order to receive the healing that is necessary to bring more peace, comfort, and calm, love, compassion, without you feeling the energy releasing, any toxic, fearful, heavy energy releasing, the light of the angels just anesthetizing you so that can gently be drawn off you, that you're being re-traumatized. And as the energy comes in through the third eye, I'm smiling because there's a real lift coming in there, a real sense of optimism and joy. The angels literally dancing. They're just really, really, really so delighted to be here and to be connecting with you. A gorgeous purple, and for some of you, a rainbow ray coming in here as well. And as we bring our awareness to the center of the third eye, the forehead, you may feel a bit of a change or a movement or tingling in the back of the spine, the back of the heart center, the area under the ribs. As all dense, heavy energy begins to release, a feeling of more liberation and freedom, not only in your channels within you, but available around you, more headspace. And I'm going to ask the angels to address any intrusive thoughts, anybody that is feeling that they're very triggered in their mind at the moment, struggling to relax, overthinking things, overanalyzing, being overly critical. As you take those wonderful, slow, big, beautiful breaths, just feel the love move through you. There's never judgment with what I've just said. The angels will acknowledging what's there so it can be released, so you can receive help, healing and support. All I ask is that you be open for whatever amendments and changes are being made to your aura. So more love and light can flow freely within and around you. The doorway into the third eye, front and back, opening, fully giving yourself permission for anything that's clogging your inner and outer sight from clearing to clear now, bringing the ultraviolet flame down through you, really powerfully so. And also a powerful, beautiful channel coming right in there, bringing a higher perspective, an angelic perspective, a beautiful alignment with your own divine spirit, your own higher self, the light moving up to the top of your head. And I want you to imagine a doorway opening at the very top of your head, a powerful white, radiant light coming from the area just above your head, literally pouring over you. And as this happens, tremendously lifting you there. Breathing that light into and around you. And giving yourself permission for any heaviness, weariness, tiredness, depression, any feelings of isolation, fear, rejection, any feelings that you're holding where you're hard on yourself, where you're struggling to love and let the light in. Just let the angels support you in all these areas and anywhere I have not mentioned where you need help now. And feel this really sacred, ancient energy specifically aligned to your signature vibration, to your spirit flowing down through you, amplifying the energy of love in the cells of your body, compassion and peace. And just feel that flow move right through you, a lightening of the load around your head, in your mind, lifting of any shadows, clouds of illusion and fears around the head, and the aura and inside the body, and a clear channel from the top of your head all the way down through you, into your chest, and down under your ribs. And just feel the energy concentrating here, in the area under your ribs, as you breathe those wonderful, slow, big, beautiful breaths. Feel the archangels gently, lovingly, carefully working with each of you in whatever way you now need it the most. I strongly encourage, please ask for help for whatever is needed for you now at this time, wherever you're struggling, wherever you're worrying, wherever you feel disempowered or afraid. No matter what it is, there's never judgment from the angels, just complete unconditional love. I feel the light building and moving and flowing under your ribs, imagining a doorway opening, front and back. Don't worry if your head's gone a little bit dizzy or if the energy's gone a little bit stronger, that's absolutely fine. You're in the hands of the most powerful loving beings, and their love is astounding and magnificent. They want the best for you. Feel the light shining right through you. Breathe it in here. Give yourself permission for these beings of light to help disentangle you from any conflict within you and around you. Anything that is hurting you, including your own thoughts. Anything that's causing you to feel disempowered, controlled, trapped, enslaved, beholden to somebody else. Each breath that you take, give yourself permission to reclaim your freedom, your peace, your sense of love and truth. Each breath that you take, allow yourself to be more vibrant, to become lighter and brighter, even if you're not feeling this yet. Trust in it. As you exhale, I want you to give yourself permission to breathe out the pain, the hurt, the suffering, the challenge of whatever is happening in your life, within yourself, within your mind, the illusions that may have formed within you. Know that the light that's coming through will help you discern between the truth and illusion. And each breath, you're growing more stable and strong, brighter and lighter, more at peace within yourself. Feel the light traveling, beaming and flowing down into your tummy. There's a tremendous sense of light at the back of your body as well, as an angel gently cradles you in their arms. Let yourself be held. Sit back in here and just let them hold you. Trust that you are safe and protected, that all is well. Particularly if you're in a process of working through the past, old traumas or suffering, anything that is causing fear. The light weaving, flowing, beaming into the sacred part of your body, into your tummy, the sacral, 1.5 inches below your belly button. Doorway opens or being opened here. As this happens, I'm having a very interesting image of old restrictions or layers of self-doubt being unraveled from around your head, like a bandage been unraveled. Self-doubt, other people's stuff, your own negative thoughts been unraveled from around your head. So you're more space to think clearly through the vibration of love. The light as it drops into your tummy. A beautiful golden orange energy coming in here. A gentle, loving archangel called Gabriel, stepping in really, really lovingly, really gently. Sometimes people may experience pins and needles when Gabriel comes in, seeing that gorgeous color I spoke of, or a white light. More often, a very powerful feeling of tremendous peace flowing right through you, a sense of compassion, of being really held and supported. As the light moves through this part of you, give yourself permission for this loving presence to help soothe, dissolve, and release any toxic emotions, anything you're carrying or holding that you've been unable to express. There's never any judgment, any regrets, shame, or guilt. And the most beautiful light coming right through you, just allowing yourself to be held, a sense of calm, of potential, of blessings coming through freely, shining through you. And just each breath, once again, remind yourself, I am liberating myself. I am aligning back with peace, breathing in this light, breathing out all the things that do not serve you, that you're struggling with, suffering with, particularly if you feel powerless or uncertain of how to let them go. Just trust each breath. The light is becoming stronger. The energy is becoming higher, and there's more support available. The light dropping into your pelvis, a doorway opening at the very bottom of your spine. Breathing the light in here, and as you breathe out, giving yourself permission to release stale, stuck, stagnant energy. An interesting image of old energies gently being pulled free from the sides of the hips, the lower back, worrying about finances, support, relationships, all those worries gently being dissolved and released. If there's something else that's coming to mind that you could do with help or support with, you can ask for it now. A tremendous light coming in with this. Angels will always acknowledge whatever you're asking for. Feel a tremendous light, powerful and strong. Don't worry if you don't see anything. Just trust me as I speak the energy through you, that it's coming in very, very much. Very lovely and strong. Beautiful smells coming in as well. Tingling, changes of temperature, or just calm. The light bringing a sense of tremendous support, courage, divine presence, healing, whatever you need. Feel the light dropping down your legs to your knees, doorways opening, releasing stale, stuck and stagnant energy. A lot more support being made available here. Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. The light coming from the knees down into the calves, the ankles, the feet, the tips, the toes, doorways opening. Taking a big breath once again, allowing yourself to breathe out stale, stuck, stagnant energy. Feel the presence of your guardian angels, the archangels by your side also. You are so loved and so supported. The light moving right through you, from every part of you, from the top of your head to the tips of your fingers, from every cell, atom, organ and tissue. The most magnificent, white, golden roots of light going right down through you,
growing right down into the earth beneath you. Being guided by the Archangel Michael, the Archangel Zadkiel, protecting and guiding those golden white roots. Feel those roots growing deep, being guided by Michael, Archangel Zadkiel, deeper, deeper still, spreading out in all directions, becoming really, really strong. Give yourself permission to be firmly and foundationally supported within your body, within your life. Feel those gorgeous roots of light growing deeper. Take a big, beautiful breath as they grow deeper. Deeper still. Spreading out in all directions. Becoming really, really strong. Allowing yourself to absorb the wisdom, the love, the nourishment and nurturance, the healing, the light, the groundedness from the most compatible, radiant angelic light within the earth. Taking another big, beautiful breath. Feel your roots growing deeper, being guided by the archangels Michael and Zadkiel, deeper, deeper still. Spreading out in all directions. Becoming really, really strong. Know you are deeply supported, protected, divinely connected, and grounded. Take another slow, big, beautiful breath. And when you are ready, bring your awareness back into the room. Sorry, I just pulled back in my ears.
Wow.
There was lots coming there. The lads are loving this group.
Yeah.
I see the lads.
Well, we love the lads. That is beautiful. I started to choke at one stage, and you were actually around, and it just, I couldn't stop coughing.
You're releasing. That was a big. Yeah, I love when that. I know it's not comfortable,
Yeah.
but it's often, as I said, the body is amazing.
Yes.
And when there is something stuck and it wants to draw your attention, or if you're, we do that. We pick up on stuff. We carry stuff. Someone might say something to us. We might get in on top of us a bit, or whatever, or however. And so your body wants to let it go. It will often bring your consciousness to it during the meditations in that way.
Oh, it's just, I feel like we'll sleep like babies tonight. Can I ask if anybody wants to, is it okay with you, Debbie, unless you have something you want to add to that there now?
No,
anybody
yes,
would
fine.
come in and speak and let us know how that felt for you. Let me see in the chats.
I'm unmuted now.
Yeah.
I started typing there. I was just wanted to say to Debbie that when I had my eyes closed, remember she was talking about sort of, you can see a color behind your closed eyes.
Yes.
And it varied between ultraviolet and white and blue.
Oh, lovely.
And it was lovely. It was so, that's what I'm saying, it was so powerful and magical. Thank you so much.
That's who was in the blue with me, Michael, and the violet was Zadkiel, and then the Holy Spirit came in there, that white light. That's what I call the Holy Spirit. People have different names for her, but yeah, so you love it. You're very tuned in, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth, also. And Sandra is saying she fell asleep. She said, thank you, I fell asleep. Oh, that's lovely.
Oh, thank you.
You must have needed that, Sandra. Anne, thank you, Debbie. This is brilliant. And I hope you sleep well tonight, everybody. And then Anne Joy, with 2 Anne Joys. Thank you, Debbie. I did your course and it was amazing. Yeah.
Oh, Anne. Thank you, Anne. Thank you so much.
Debbie's courses are, they're very different, very unique. She's a very beautiful, beautiful energy. I mean, they're almost mystical, but you never come away without having found something else about yourself, discovered some connection that you may not have had before. It's quite beautiful.
Thank you too.
Thank you, Debbie. Sinead, so magical, Debbie. Saw blue and violet. Felt a hand from spirit on my left side. Would that be an ancestor or an angel?
Could be an angel, could be a loved one. Yeah. Yeah. Coming in, say hello.
Nice feeling. And Lorraine, you said you loved that. I agree. For me, it was such a powerful meditation too. Wonderful, Debbie. Yeah, I don't. Did anyone else feel? I felt a lot of sort of kind of almost my hair moving. You know, at the top.
Yeah.
Of
that was a little. That would be normal. I know I say normal when people go, what? But in this world, that would be very normal. Yeah, definitely.
Well, I like that kind of normal. It's really. Eileen, thank you so much. Tingling in my hands, so peaceful. Yeah, tingling in your hands, lovely. More, thank you, Debbie. It was wonderful. Saw the same colours as Elizabeth. Pain in my back is lifted. Wonderful.
Lovely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the lads, they love. I mean, I guided through meditation, but it's your team that step in that really wants to help, and it's sometimes that we don't have time, or we for whatever reason, like we carry things. We're amazingly strong beings that carry. It's only when we're on our knees that we'll go, oh God, it's too much. So it's good to give yourselves a chance to let things lift, and they do. The archangels love coming in. So
it's lovely to know they love it, because you know what?
Yeah.
You know,
they do.
Why would they? You know, what you're calling them 3 times and asking them to come in, and you kind of think, look, they're busy elsewhere.
Not at all. The thing is, they evolve by serving humanity. So when you call them, you're helping them. And from my perspective, when I called them in, the excitement, I can't even begin to describe. I know when I'm doing the introduction to angels, and we do one of the classes we do is when we focus on the guardian angel. And your guardian angel literally is the highlight of the whole week or the whole year is this, because so many times they're firefighting around us. They're trying to help us avoid things. They're trying to put things in our path that can help us. They're constantly working tirelessly. They never, ever stop. And we don't sometimes talk to them. Sometimes we never talk to them, or rarely when we're in a situation and when we're really in need, we'll say, where are you, or whatever. They just love being called. They get so excited. And the angels actually do get fierce excited about things like this. And you can feel that like when their vibration kind of shimmers with pure love and excitement. So they really love you calling them. You can't call them enough. They'd be happy. And in fact, those people that work with them a lot, they'll have a lot more around them, because there's more archangels and more angelic beings. And we know, I say, like, there's the celebrity of the archangel kingdom that we know of, such as Raphael and Michael and Zachiel. But there's so many archangels that we're not aware of, and angelic beings. There's more of them than there is of us. So they really, it really helps them if you call them, and it really does.
Just remember, stick that up on your fridge as a fridge magnet. Help an angel out, give them a shout.
Absolutely, and they love it. Like, I can tell you, they get so excited. Because they're watching us, and they're continuously trying to help us, and they can see our struggles, and they all can also see that our life experiences sometimes has taught us that we need to suffer. We may have been conditioned or have had an earlier experience in life where we believe that we're not worthy of love, or that we need to suffer a certain amount before we can receive help and support, that it needs to be challenging and tiring and hard, whatever the reason might be. And we hold this intention in a way that it's our belief system, and we've chosen to hold on to it. And the angels cannot interfere with our free will. So although they can see that we're hurting ourselves, they can't take it from us if we don't let them. So like, if they could try and negotiate with us, we could still say at some level, no, I deserve this. I'm whatever I did earlier in my life, or my mum or my dad had this experience, or I seen this happening to someone else, and this is what I expect to happen, so I need to suffer. And they like, it really is. I wouldn't, like, the angels don't experience pain as we do, but they certainly really know how to love, and it's something that it restricts how they can love us. So what I would suggest is tune in with them every so often and just say, look, if there is something in my system that I hold on, maybe I'm not aware of, maybe it's an unconscious belief or a subconscious belief or something I'm aware of, or a trauma that I'm holding that is preventing you from engaging with me in a way that would be really good for me, really beneficial, can you intervene? I mean, that's a very simple statement, but my God, it's potent, it's powerful, and it can lead to such magnificent healing. Ask them to intervene. You know, and they really will. They really will do
surrender.
so.
And so people here to surrender, not take sort of you help me out, but I'm going to hold on to the controls, really, in a sense.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm really conscious now that people have come to it's getting quite late, and I also feel that was such a beautiful meditation that it might be lovely to go off into the evening with that beautiful kind of cloak around us of angelic sort of energy, which I love. There are more thank yous, loads and loads of thank you. Sarah, thank you. She got eye fluttering, like uncontrolled blinking. Also felt my heart chakra open up a lot too. Mary, thank you, Debbie. That was just fabulous. Yvonne, that was so amazing. I feel so relaxed. The colors were so beautiful. Glad you experienced that, Yvonne. Thank you. And Orla said your words are just so perfect, Debbie. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
You know, guys, this is recorded now, so we'll put it up on the. I'll send you all out the link afterwards. Those of you're all registered. You'll get the link to this, and that will be there for you anytime you want to watch or tap into it or tune into Debbie's words, because sometimes while you're listening, something that she may have said will have resonated with you tonight. But if you listen back again in a day or two, you'll hear something else that you probably didn't even hear at the time. So it might be a nice idea to go back over it again and see, you know, what else is there for you. And certainly to go back to that meditation again. Everyone is such a profound experience. Listen, I just want to thank you so much, because I don't think I hope you realize, I know that you say this is a gift, but it's your dedication to that, and your dedication to the practices and the exercise and the taking care of yourself that leads to so many others of us having a very rich and rewarding experience. So I really want to thank you for that, because who knows how this experience changes our lives. You know, where
thank you.
Something has been triggered that will now open up for us that we've been closed to and may not even have been aware of. And very often as well, healing that we may not have expected may occur. So over the coming days, you may notice things, you may feel things that rise up, and you go, I remember that was, you know, that's come out of Debbie. So look, you will also have links to Debbie's website, and do go and look out. Debbie has wonderful workshops, courses, online courses, so you don't even have to meet. You can do her courses overseas, or you have in-person courses as well. There's the Hill of Tara experiences that you have, the meditation talked about, and please go and have a look and see if there's something there for you, particularly if you want to begin to establish a practice and you're really not sure how to start, or you want to develop a practice that you already do, and you want to let it take you further. Thank you.
Thank you, Trina. Thank you, everyone, for your lovely comments as well. Thank you so much. And thank you, Trina. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Listen, we've all felt that. So listen, everybody, thank you for joining us this evening. And we are back next week. We have Grania Tyndall joining us next
week. Fabulous.
Isn't she wonderful?
I got a numerological reading with her yesterday. Oh my God, fabulous. I'd recommend her. It's very, very good.
And she has a wonderful personality as well. And really a wonderful personality. Lots of knowledge too. So come back next Tuesday night. And normally we're fortnightly, but we're finishing up very soon for the season to take a break for summer. So we have next week with Grania, and the following week, actually that's changing now. It'll be a week after that with Wendy Coulter, who is an intuitive medical diagnostician. She works with hospitals and doctors in America, helping them discover how to tune into energy of their patients. And she's doing incredible work. She can teach us to do that for ourselves too. So look, again, thank you, everybody. It's a pleasure to have those of you who are new. Please come back to us again. And those of you who are stalwarts and regular wise and Angels Goddesses, looking forward to seeing you as always next time too. And thank you for being here this evening. Debbie, thank you so much.
Thank you, Trina. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
See you soon.
Take
care. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.